could we actually do this really cool thing called protecting children? All right, let's go ahead and get into things. You know how we are told repeatedly. I love how this video is going to begin with me opening up the preamble for a video. And just in the chat, there's stuff in all caps. Why are you showing toilet horror on stream? Look, if you have not watched the entirety of the Skibbity Toilet series, it is peak fiction. It is literally this generation's magnum opus. You need to see it. I wish I was kidding. That has no business having a compelling narrative. But that said, we are going to have a very interesting conversation here. You know how we're told by Republicans repeatedly that abortion bans are actually to save the kids, and it's a good thing, and all that other fun stuff. Okay, cool. So, what happens when we try to actually save kids from being pregnant themselves? Well, what tends to happen is really interesting. Republicans say, screw you. You know, when the old joke from George Carlin, you know, hey, if you're pre-born, we love you, but if you're preschool, you're screwed. It really, really goes to show that was more predictive than it had any business being. But let's get into the fan art section, and then we'll get into that. So, the first piece of fan art we have here is from Zed is Dead. Me and my cousins were using chalk, and I made this. Hope you like it. This is also my first fan art of you. We have a slime Suris made in chalk. I think that might actually be the first time I've seen slime Suris in chalk. Ha! The next one we have here is from Nami Neko. I've been practicing drawing using my phone. Simple stuff at the moment. So here's a Suris Blep. Aw, said I plan on doing slime Suris and slime girl Suris Bleps soon. Well, that is adorable. The next one we have here is from Axolotls with Cream. Tried to draw Blizzy from memory. How did I do? I think you did A-okay. Those aren't Blizzy's eyes, but he certainly seems like he has seen some things. The things that he has been subjected to by being part of the stream. Dear Lord. As always, everybody, thank you all for your fan art submissions. If you want your fan art to be shown in a future video, then go ahead and drop it in the fan art section of the Discord, and then...
Am I broken?
Yes. Yes, you are. Anyway, let's go ahead and get to the topic at hand. After you hit the subscribe button and the bell notification icon, you know, after we go ahead and give you your prerequisite all-wall. But that's not a shock to anybody. All right, this one.
This is an amendment. It's easy. This just makes sure that no person 12 and younger has to endure a pregnancy.
With the exceptions that we do have.
So what is happening here is a Democrat is coming up as a 6-week abortion ban. So if you are pregnant after 6 weeks, you cannot get an abortion. As a 6-week abortion ban is being pushed on the legislation floor, Republican comes up and says, hey, could we actually do this really cool thing called protecting children by making sure that if a child is pregnant, somebody who's under 12 years old in this case, if they get pregnant, then they are exempt from the rule. Amish Redder says, are you against free speech? No, I'm not. What the fuck are you talking about? So, when this person comes up and, you know, very, very reasonably goes, hey, maybe kids getting pregnant is bad. Let's see what the Republican side has to say about that.
That I would ask our body to resist this amendment. I'm glad.
All she asked was, could we, could maybe 12-year-olds being pregnant be something that we put in just a stopgap on? Maybe we just make sure that they are allowed to get an abortion so they can still have a childhood. They've already been traumatized. Republican just goes, no. Nah. Why? Why? Please, tell me. Under what reasoning? Under what potentiality is it okay to be like, actually, no. 12-year-old's getting pregnant. Just good. Based. Solid. That's great. Arrows, thank you for telling me to ingest my fluids. Melody says the small government party, folks. Yep, the small government party has never actually advocated for small government. They play lip service to it. That's about it. But let's see what else is said here.
Glad that we have exceptions in there as medical emergency. But I would like to be damn sure that we're not putting any Iowa child through a pregnancy at the age of 12 or under.
Those voting aye, 33. Those voting no, 57. Absent or not voting, 10. The amendment has failed.
For the love of Pete, that's child abuse. We're standing here debating a bill to save babies, but yet we would put a 12-year-old, a 11-year-old, a 10-year-old through this? Give me a break.
So, I hope situations like this are at least a little bit of evidence to why it's never been about protecting kids. Never at all. It has always been about control. From the top to the bottom to the end, that's the point of it. The point of abortion restrictions when it comes to people who can get pregnant, it's about controlling their bodies. Now, you can believe in your heart of hearts that actually no, it is for the protection of children. It is to make sure that kids can still manage to be born into the world. One, we have no shortage of children. We don't necessarily need a giant influx of children right now. We've got plenty in the world. But if you really do believe that Republicans are trying to make life better for you, they're trying to make sure that you have all your human rights there, ask yourself, if your child, 11, 12 years old, if they got raped, would you want them being forced to carry a pregnancy to term? Is that something you want? In fact, actually, I'm just going to ask Amish Inventor, because they're in the chat right now. Do you want, if you had a 12-year-old kid, do you want them to be forced to carry that pregnancy to term? Do you think that's a good thing? 12-year-old making 750s, 25-year-old 650, who cares? Ah, cool, so you're a piece of shit. Got it. Neat. Anywho, let's go ahead and just time you out, because that's where the kids go. That kid could be Einstein, that kid could also be Hitler. But you know what? Either way, you're a child, and you're going into the timeout area. Have fun. You get to yell into the void there, and nobody will say anything bad about you. I mean, we're going to make fun of you here because I think you look funny. But realistically, if you're the type of person that thinks that you should force a 12-year-old to carry to term, then you're, in my opinion, a monster who does not deserve to be given any credence in this conversation. Salem says, what is $7.50? That is the federal minimum wage in the United States. Dollars per hour. From the party that constantly tells us that we need to think of the children, it seems that really they never actually do. I brought up the George Carlin joke before, but it's not a funny haha here. It's just the fact of the matter here. Salem says, what's that got to do with giving birth? It's an advocacy for child labor. That's what it is. Somebody says, 12-year-old working for that much money, a 25-year-old working for that much money, what's the difference? The difference is child labor. That's what they're advocating for. If you're the type of person who supports Republicans politically, I have to ask you why. This is the party that is advocating for the forced pregnancy of somebody who is 10, 11, 12 years old, victims of incest, and people who may even have medical emergencies as a result of pregnancy. You're supporting a party that is okay with all of this. I want to sit down and speak to your humanity for a second. regardless of whatever Democrat policy, woke garbage, whatever fucking shit you think is going on with the Democratic Party, I have to ask you, why is it that the party that you are advocating for is the one that we have had wrestle on the Tennessee floor about whether or not child marriage should be taken out of a special marriage clause? Why is it that the party you advocate for is the one that wants children getting pregnant and forced to relive the trauma of their own rape when that happens? And it's a when, by the way. Why is it that you are advocating for the type of people who would rather see gay marriages annulled and taken out, who would see trans people have their rights stripped away? Why do you believe, in your arrogance, that you have that much authority over other human beings? In what world do you believe to have those rights? Go ahead and let me know in the comments section, because that's the end of the video. Insert end of video tagline here.